Wow. Okay, I want to start off by saying, in my opinion, I think Batman Knightfall is the greatest animated Batman film of all time, right? That's just my opinion. I really love the character Bane. I think Bane in this movie was done perfect. And they literally stuck with the source material, the original comic of Batman Knightfall, where Bane, we get into Bane's origin story where he had to basically pay for his father's crimes and grow up in a prison all his life. And he basically becomes the strongest person there. And they put him into like solitary confinement pretty much. And he survives the very rough conditions to where basically the staff of the prison are like, yo, he'd be perfect for this experiment we're doing, which the experiment is Venom, which is like a superhuman steroid, if you guys don't know. But basically they stuck with the source material here, man. So if you guys haven't seen the comics, I would strongly advise you do. But if you don't want to, this movie basically does everything pretty much perfectly. I mean, I can't complain at all with this movie. Now, I was hooked immediately because obviously the first 15 to 20 minutes roughly were just Bane. We see Bane growing up in the prison. There will be heavy spoilers. I'm not going to be like explaining the entire movie, but I just want to give my honest thoughts. So I think Bane's origin story was heavily needed in the beginning of the movie, because obviously if we were to just basically skip a lot of Bane's origin, it would make this movie not make a lot of sense, if you understand what I'm saying. I genuinely think that Bane's origin story was done perfect. We see everything. There's a lot of gore in this. I was not expecting the level of gore in this movie. It was actually insane. I loved it. Very, very good details with Bane. I thought it was crazy. When we see Bane get the Venom for the first time, it looked like absolute Bane from the comics. He was huge, bro. It was insane. We also see Bane's mother, who basically teaches him at a very young age that only the strong survive and that Bane needs to toughen up at a very early age, which means you do not show mercy on anybody. You just need to improve and become the strongest no matter what, basically. And Bane does learn, and Bane does exactly that. He learns from a very early age that it is basically survival of the fittest. And later, there's a prison guard who basically gives Bane books, and Bane has read every book. Bane does say something that really, really sticks out. He says, knowledge is the greatest power you can have. And that just goes to show that Bane really is one of Batman's smartest villains, if not probably the smartest one. Tactics wise, I mean, like, Bane's not like a scientist level genius, but he's a very, very good and skilled tactician. You know, this movie basically shows you how smart Bane is. He plans out how to break the Batman, and he does it perfectly. Like, it's done very well. But basically, Bane, at a very young age, gets a magazine showing Thomas Wayne, which is Batman's father, and it's a family picture of, basically Bruce's family, and Bane basically uses that magazine as fuel. Thomas Wayne was basically seen as the most powerful man in Bane's eyes at the time, and he wanted that kind of power. So Bane uses that magazine to basically fuel him, to basically fuel his rage, and I thought everything was done very, very well, dude. Like, this movie was very well written. It was done perfect. Like, I'm not joking. It was done very well. I also want to say that Azrael in this movie was also done really, really well. I mean, we get to see him, basically the Order of Saint Dumas basically has like a mind control thing or something on him, and he can't really control his rage. But then Batman takes him in and basically trains him, and Batman is at this stage right now where Dick Grayson's Robin has already left and kind of cut ties with Batman. And then we see Jason Todd has died in this universe. He's already dead. And we are with Tim Drake's Robin, right? We're basically at the point where Batman wants to work alone most of the time. He's not letting Tim do a lot of things that he would have normally let Dick and Jason do. So Tim's basically kind of sneaking out doing stuff. But basically, Azrael's there, and Alfred and Robin basically suggest, hey, why don't you let Azrael help? Why don't you let Robin help? You know what I mean? Like, Batman just doesn't want people getting hurt. He wants to do everything by himself because he just, doesn't want to lose anyone. Come to find out, Batman is staying up for days. He doesn't have any sleep. He's just trying to fight crime, and he's getting a little sloppy, man. He's letting little low-tier street thugs fuck him up a little bit. That's just how tired he is, and he's getting fucked up by a lot of really low-tier villains, man. Like, he's getting pieced up a little bit by Victor Zsasz. Mad Hatter's goons piece him up a little bit, and they're just regular civilians, mind-controlled. And even the police and other people around Batman notice it. They tell him, you need a break, you need help, you need to talk to someone, right? We also see Bruce Wayne go to like a therapist or whatever. I don't really fully remember a lot of it. I just know that she was just basically trying to talk to Bruce and whatever. I don't know. But let's get back to the meat and potatoes of this, all right? So basically, we also get to see Robin throw hands with Bane, right? Bane finally gets to Gotham. He's taken over the mob and basically broke a lot of villains out of Arkham Asylum. And Bane is basically working behind the scenes while there's a lot of craziness going out. So if you don't know, Bane is purposely causing chaos in Gotham to drain Batman because he knows how stubborn Batman is right now. He knows that he's had two Robins that one died, one Robin died, and the other one left, right? Bane knows this, and he's basically trying to get inside Batman's head and break the Bat. He's causing chaos. We see villains like Mr. Freeze, we see Mad Hatter, we see Scarecrow, I think we see Joker, I could be wrong, but we see a huge variety of villains. I mean, not huge, but we do see a handful of villains that Batman could normally piece up, but he's getting comboed, right? Batman's not on top of his game right now. He is not taking care of his health. Batman is not at his peak right now. He's not fully functional. And later, we see Robin do a one-on-one with Bane, where he barely gets out of there alive, but he does it very good. Like, if Robin can do what he did in that one-on-one, Batman on his best day could have beaten Bane. I genuinely think that. If Batman was getting rest and being a lot less stubborn, he could have definitely beat that Bane right there. But Bane's whole plan wasn't to fight fair. I genuinely love that because Batman plans out his, attacks. Batman really isn't the type of superhero to just swoop down and kick ass. If it's just some normal street thugs, yeah, he's gonna do that. But if he sees like a big hulking monster like Bane, he's not gonna just swoop down in there unless he really has to, right? But I like how they did it so well where Bane planned out his attack, right? Bane's plan was basically to break Batman by unleashing a lot of chaos in Gotham, where Batman is constantly having to fight crime. He is getting no breaks. He has no sleep. I think he goes 2 to 4 days without sleep, somewhere around that. And he's absolutely drained, right? Batman doesn't admit it, but you can see it. You see Batman having scars all over his face. You see Batman's suit all fucked up. I don't think he even changed his drawers, man. He's probably walking around with a shit-stained underwear. Batman is not at his peak right now, all right? He's fucked up. Later, we see the final piece. Fast forward a little bit. We're about to get to the fight with Batman and Bane. And it is a tragic fight for Batman. But before that, we see Alfred and Bruce and Tim. They're arguing because obviously Tim snuck out with Azrael because they were doing some detective work, and Batman fired him. Long story short, he fired Tim out of pure frustration. Alfred basically was telling Batman to calm down. Batman stays there, and I think Alfred and Tim leave, but Batman follows right behind them and sees them laid out on the floor cold, bro, like knocked the fuck out. And Bane shows up, and that's when they start giving their little monologues where basically Bane starts, doing the villain speech, and Batman is just there like, oh shit, who's this dude? They start fighting, and pretty quickly this fight goes into Bane's favor, man. Like it wasn't even close, man. Bane just mauls Batman. But to be fair, Batman has like 4 days of no sleep. He's very, very much bruised, and he's not fully focused. He's not at his best, right? And that's what Bane wanted. Bane wanted Batman at his worst to break him. He doesn't want to kill him, right? He just wants to basically make him his bitch. That's basically what he does. After Bane beats him up, he drags him out of the Batcave. After Bane breaks Batman's back, and oh my gosh, these sound effects that they used, it literally sounds like somebody's spine snapping more than one time. very, very good sound effects, man. Like it, oh my gosh, dude, it was crazy. And after Bane basically kicks his ass, he drags him out of the Batcave and takes him on top of the GCPD and basically announces in front of Jim Gordon and live on TV. Everybody's watching this shit, right? They see Bane pull out Batman, and Batman's like moaning. Like, also while Batman's getting pieced up, right? I'm backtracking a little bit. While Batman's getting pieced up, he's not trying to sound tough. He's not trying to like do this. Like, yes, we do see Batman get up and try to fight multiple times, but he's not sounding all tough. He's moaning. He's going like, maybe not like that, but we see Batman grunting, making noises like he's genuinely scared. It genuinely sounds like Batman is helpless. Like, it genuinely sounds like he's afraid, and it did something to me, bro. Batman has been my GOAT since I was a little ass kid, bro. And to see my GOAT suffer, and he's making noises like he is suffering, oh my gosh, dude, it was insane. But anyways, fast forwarding back, we see Bane on the rooftop, and he throws Batman down onto the bat signal, and he's just laid out. Bane takes a couple bullets and walks off, and the movie ends. Wow. Genuinely a great story. I don't even know really what to say here. I mean, this movie was done very, very well, man. I can't wait for part 2 to come out. Part 2 is going to be insanely good. I hope they do it right. I can't wait to see Azrael beat Batman, or not Batman, Bane's ass. I hope we get more villains included. I don't want the villains to be like any of the main points unless it's like absolutely necessary, but I can't wait for part 2, man, because this movie, Knightfall, Batman Knightfall, was absolutely beautiful, man. It was done very well. I think the writing was just there. I give this movie a 10 out of 10, and I never give movies a 10 out of 10. The movie's an hour and 20 minutes long. I think it definitely makes its way to the top 5 like greatest Batman movies of all time, maybe just animated wise, right? I think it's number 1 for me right now, but after I watch it a second time, I could change my opinion. Who knows, man? Like, anything could happen. I do think if they do make a trilogy, it could definitely be the greatest Batman trilogy ever. I mean, animated movie wise. I mean, come on now. Like, you can't really argue with that. It was done very, very well. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And if you guys like Batman content, that's what this channel's about, man. This channel is strictly Batman content, mostly focused on the Arkham games, but I do want to talk about movies, comics, and theories. So if you guys are into any of that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, man. It would definitely help out. I love Batman, dude. I love nerding out about this kind of stuff. But yeah, hope you guys have a blessed one. Be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.